Hello and welcome to Magnetic Rise. I am your host, Bilagazi, and this is the podcast where we uncover the strategies, the stories, as well as the lessons behind the rise of remarkable businesses. Today, I am joined by Zahid Mohammed, an entrepreneur who left the corporate world behind after facing burnout and then built a thriving e-commerce business completely from scratch and without outside funding. So, Zahid, welcome to Magnetic Rise. I'm very excited for this conversation today.
Thanks for having me.
Awesome. So, let's get started with your story. I obviously gave a very brief background, but please may you go into depth for us. What was your background? What led you to starting the business that you have now? And yeah.
For sure. I was always a corporate employee. So it was 2018 when I decided that I don't want to work for other companies because I was completely burned out in my last job, organizational politics, different other things that I did not like. And I realized this is a point that I don't want to work for other people anymore. And then I took a decision. I resigned from my job and I was on my own. So I needed something to build up for my income, and it was Shopify and Amazon. So I did some research, and I saw there is a new business model. People sell on Shopify and on Amazon with drop shipping, and I started building up my stores. It all happened while I was traveling, and I was in multiple countries. Like from one country to another country, and all I did is from my laptop, and I built two stores, and I scaled them quickly to seven figures. So and I kept doing it for a few years, and then I jumped into building SaaS apps, so which is like a SaaS business. And from SaaS, I went on to building an agency, which is an e-commerce agency, a complete marketing agency for Shopify sellers. So now we are in three countries: US, Germany, and Pakistan. So we employ more than 30 people, and we work with more than 1,000 sellers globally.
That's fantastic, eh? Quite the journey. Was when you started your e-commerce journey, was entrepreneurship something that you always considered, or did it sort of emerge as a necessity after you felt burnt out?
So for me, it was more like a necessity because I did not dream at that time. Okay, so I want to be an entrepreneur, or like I want to build up businesses. So I was frustrated and I was burned out. For me, I wanted to be my own, and I did not start like the company from the first year. So I was a solopreneur. That means I was working from everywhere. So I was the one person business. I was building e-commerce stores, mostly working with freelancers. And after I did that for a few months, and then I realized, okay, I enjoy doing it and I like it. And from that point on, I started building up businesses, right? So my journey was mostly my journey of entrepreneurship. It came from being I would say, like, there was a need that I create something for myself, and it was freedom as well. It was income, and now it is a proper business.
Yeah, I think a lot of people can relate to that part of just wanting to be independent. I think needing to be independent as well, especially depending on your personality type. For people who are interested but are sort of scared, what were some of the biggest challenges that you learned or that you faced in those early days, and how did you overcome them?
I think there is one thing that really counts in being on your own. So I was afraid myself as well. I didn't have any experience of building up businesses. I never worked for myself. I was always employed. I was always, like having a full time job, a secure paycheck coming every month in my bank account. And I was afraid myself. I was like I didn't take this decision for quite a long time. I always wanted to be independent, but my fear was kind of holding me back. So what I did, I trusted myself. I think that was the biggest thing or biggest lesson I learned. And even today, after being in this journey for 7 years, building multiple businesses, working with more than 1,000 companies in different countries globally, running a team of more than 30 people, I'm still afraid sometimes. But when I am afraid, I ask myself, can I do this? Right. And then I look at my past success and then I see, okay, so I can pull this off. Right. And I simply take a decision and I move forward. So I think the biggest lesson is sometimes trusting yourself and believing that you can do it, and then moving forward with 100% effort, with 100% focus, all in, all eggs in one basket, right? Not looking for the backups here and there, not looking for alternatives. Go all in, trust yourself, you will be successful.
Sure. It sounds easy as a piece of advice, but I think a lot of people would feel as though easier said than done, right?
It has never been easy. It has been, I have been in business for 7 years. I have burnt money. I have earned money, right? So I have gone through a very difficult phase. I so this is what I mentioned. Still, I am afraid to take a few risks, right? But there is no other way. Let's put it simple. If you are an entrepreneur, and if you cannot take decisions quickly, if you are afraid all the time, then it becomes very difficult to stay in this game, because this game is tough. This game is brutal. This game is dirty, right? So you have a lot of competition. You have competitors. You have, like other people who are doing the same thing. If you don't move fast, if you don't execute quick, you will be left behind. So there is no other way. So we have to go the hard way, and we have to take these decisions. And only after that we will be successful. So we have to do it anyway, right?
I absolutely agree with you here. Do you think it's better for people to dive headfirst straight into entrepreneurship, or do you think they should sort of hold on to their corporate job for a
Yeah.
bit, build it as a side hustle, see if it's viable, and then take the leap? Or, yeah, how would you advise them to do so?
I'll share my example. I did it the hard way. So I jumped into it without building anything. So when I look back, so I did not have any income when I resigned. Zero. No income stream, nothing. I was having no idea what I'm going to do. I had a little bit of understanding. Okay, so there is something like e-commerce. There are, like these platforms, Shopify, Amazon. But I did it the other way. I jumped into it without knowing anything, and to be honest, if I look back, I think that was the best decision of my life. There are alternative ways as well. Entrepreneurship is not for faint hearted people, for sure. It is not for people who are afraid of taking risk, but we sometimes, like fantasize so much. For example, you don't need, so now the time is very different. So 7 years ago there was not so much AI, there were not so many, like online platforms, but things have changed a lot. If you are planning that you want to build up a business, you want to build up an income, you don't need to leave your job, because you got 24 hours. From 24 hours you spend 8 hours for your job, you sleep, like 8 hours, 16 hours, you still have left with 24 hours out of, sorry, 8 hours. So out of 8 hours you do, like some recreational activities, still 4 hour left. If you work 4 hours every day on a side project, you can multiply it with per week and then per year. So there are, like hundreds of hours that you can put into your own business. Build something on the side. So this is my advice. So to people who want to be on their own, if you cannot leave your job, no problem. This must not be an excuse. This should not hold you back, right? So you want to do something, go build something in your pastime, go build something on weekends, go build something on evenings, right? Utilize that time, build a passive income. That means you build one income stream. So my motto is, now I educate people I tell them, build one income stream on top of your job that is bringing you every month 10,000 US dollars every month. And it is not impossible. With AI, with e-commerce, with so many other business models, you can build up a passive income. So once you build a passive income, let's say $10,000, or maybe you don't need $10,000. Okay, so someone is living, like in Malaysia or Asia, living cheap, or like in Bali, maybe he needs $3,000 or $4,000. Build up a passive income, right? So build up this income and replace your existing salary with that income. And once you achieve that number, leave your job, right? And then build another source of income, another passive income, or be on your own, like set up a company, hire people. So these days it's also very difficult, I would say. If you stay in business for a couple of years, like 10, 15 years, this decision is very tricky. This decision is never easy. It will take a lot of courage, a lot of, I would say, discipline, self motivation, and some sort of, I would say, you need to come out of your comfort zone to leave your job, but you don't need to. So you can build something on top of your existing salary, and once you make money, then it becomes easy. Why? Because there is some money coming into your bank account, and there is some backup as well.
Yeah, I hear that and I absolutely understand it. So you say that once you've replaced your initial salary, right, that you've been getting monthly, continue looking for more streams and building on top of that. Why is it important to have that sort of diversification in business of the multiple income streams?
So multiple, if you are on your, even in jobs, so nothing is secure now. So with all the things, so many things changing abruptly, continuously, globally, um, doesn't matter where you live in the US or Europe or Asia or South Africa or anywhere, like things change quickly. If you are on your own, if you are an entrepreneur, you are on your own, you are just if you have one stream of income, if you have only one stream of income, you are one step away from poverty, right? Because you can lose this anytime. Things change quickly. So we live in the age of AI. So every new feature that chat gpt launches, it kills 1000 companies that offer that feature with some sort of subscription, right? So it is insane, it is crazy. So that is why it is very important that you build multiple streams of income. Or if you cannot build multiple streams of income, you learn multiple skill sets. For example, if you are a good podcaster, right, so you are making money from YouTube, you should have some sort of consulting or coaching program. You should make some money on top of this, right? Or monetize your income, more income stream. You make money from YouTube, you go on TikTok as well, Instagram as well, and some other channels. So, and another thing, what I have seen, having multiple streams of income give you um, enough room to experiment with new things. For example, you have this security net. If something does not work out with one stream of income, you have the second stream of income, so that you don't need to get back to your job. So the biggest problem is, if you are in this circle, like you are dependent on your paycheck or on your company month to month basis, you cannot take quick decisions. You cannot execute things fast because you are always working part time. You cannot go with full scale. So in order to be, like super successful in your business, it is very important that you are 100% dedicated. For sure, you figured out that you make money from one stream of income, but after that, after you have resigned from your job, you are 100% on your own, right? So that is why I always suggest, if you have figured out that you can build one stream of income, you can build the second stream of income more quickly as compared to when you build the first stream of income. So this has been my personal experience. So I can tell you what I do now. So I have e-commerce stores. Then I have SaaS business. So SaaS, micro SaaS apps, they bring in money. then I have a consulting and coaching business, then I have a full service marketing agency, and then I do podcasting as well. Like, so there are multiple things, and they are all linked to each other. So we are not outside e-commerce, we stay in e-commerce, but there are multiple income stream from e-commerce. So e-commerce stores, micro SaaS apps are also related to e-commerce. Then we have a pure e-commerce agency, and most of the podcasting stuff and consulting stuff we do, that is also linked to e-commerce, that we help small businesses, we share advice. I invite people on my podcast who are also mostly from the same domain. So it's linked everything in one niche. And that is why it is easier to do now.
Yeah, that sounds understandable. Okay, so you've already said we have 24 hours in a day, right? We can use the first 8 hours working on our main business, because now we're looking as entrepreneurs. We're no longer working in the corporate world. So we work on the main business. We use the remaining 8 hours for sleep, and we use the other, maybe let's say four of the last third of the 8 hours to build the other multiple streams of income, right? But how does someone do that without spreading themselves too thin? So avoiding the burnout that they were running away from in the corporate world. Yeah.
Um, so the thing is, so number one, if you don't like what you do, you cannot go on this pattern, because then it becomes very difficult for you to put in extra hours. So number one thing is, there must be a strong motivation to do these things. Number two, there must be, like a good passion, that you want to you want to make these things work. Number three, there should be an element of enjoyment as well. So for my definition of work has completely changed after I transitioned from a corporate employee to an entrepreneur. So for me, work is the definition of work is not work anymore, right? Because I enjoy doing these things. So these things give me energy. I am motivated most of the time. Um, so I think it's very important that you build these streams of income around activities that you like, you enjoy. So, for example, if you are a very good salesperson, you are working for a corporate, for a big corporation, you are making good money. Maybe you want to share this advice, how to sell products, how to sell services. Maybe you enjoy when you teach these skills to other people, right? So you find, like your passion. Okay, so I like to talk about these things, what I know, and I want to educate other people. And maybe you start a podcast, or maybe you start an Instagram channel, or maybe you start posting on your LinkedIn profile, right? So then, so this 4 hours which you are dedicating uh, to your business or building a side income stream, it is also some sort of enjoyment for you, right? So I think this is very important. And of course, so even if you enjoy these things, you need to take breaks, for sure. So don't do it every day of the week. Even if you do 5 days a week, that is 20 hours every week, right? And you still have 2 days left. You have Saturday left, you have Sunday left. You can go to the gym, you can go swimming, you can take your time, enjoy with the family, get motivated once again, and move forward. Another thing, what I have learned, being on your own is like a marathon. It must not be a sprint, because when you run in a sprint, you run really, really fast. After 2 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes, depending upon, like how big your stamina is, you will exhaust quickly. So in a marathon, you go for the long run, right? So being an entrepreneur or building your business is always for the long term. It can be that your first idea fails. You have worked on building the first income stream for a couple of months, your first idea failed, no problem. If you are motivated, you can try the second thing and the third thing. So these are the few things that really helped me in my journey.
Absolutely, absolutely valid points. And I agree with you 100% on both of them. In closing, just before we go, um, so entrepreneurship requires some mindset shifts, especially when you come from the 9 to 5 world. It's like you've said multiple times, it's not the same, and it requires a certain type of person. What are some of the biggest mindset barriers that you had to overcome when starting your journey?
Yeah, I think for me, it was just a safety net, So when you work for other companies for 10, 15, 20 years, you just get used to the paycheck that you are getting every month. So I think this is like the biggest thing people don't realize, that when you are on your own, you have to generate that income every month. So that is the hard part. And if you have employees, if you have other team members who are dependent on you now, then you have to generate that income for those people as well. And this is, like the extra level of difficulty. So I think making yourself a little bit rough and tough is very important, right? Staying motivated is very important. If you are running your own business, no one cares other than you, right? So if you have co-founders, then this is something else. So I didn't have any co-founders. I still don't have any co-founders. If you have employees, you need to earn enough money so that you can pay for their salaries and you give them job security. If you have customers, you need to serve them good, right? So being rough and tough is very important. Having an open mindset is very important. Staying optimistic that you can work the things out, right? Even if the things are not going that well, so you will find a solution. I think these are some of the things. I'm not saying that people who work in jobs, they don't have these traits. So maybe the biggest part of my audience is people who are having full-time 9 to 5 job. So I was having the same. But when I transitioned myself from 9 to 5 job to being on my own, I had to change my mindset as well. So now there is nothing, like on the backup. So if I am sick the whole month, I will not get paid. So this was the case in the case of, like my corporate job. So you know what I mean? So I think taking 100% responsibility, working really, really hard, thinking that you can make it work. So first make it work for yourself and then think about hiring other people. So go gradually, change your mindset, change your habits, get out of this 9 to 5 working, like routine. There is no work life balance if you are on your own. So get out of this fantasy if you have all these kind of fantasies. And I think this will make your life very easy, and you will be, at ease if you get yourself prepared on these points.
Yes, absolutely. This has been such an inspiring conversation. Your journey from burnout to success has been proof, I think, to anyone that they can take control of their career with the right strategy, persistence, and also the right mindset as well. So, thank you for sharing that with us. For our listeners, sorry, who want to get in touch with you for your work or either help with getting started on their side businesses, etc., where can they connect with you?
I am very, thank you so much, first of all, for inviting me. It has been an amazing discussion. So I am very active on LinkedIn. If you are going to post this week, I can also drop my LinkedIn profile. My company, which is a full service marketing agency, the name is Conzia, CONZIA.com. If you want to start any new business, if you have any idea, if you want to build an online store, you can always reach out to myself or my team, and we will be happy to help.
And that's a wrap for this episode of Magnetic Rise. I think Zahid's journey reminds us that success isn't just about making the big leap, but it's also about building a strong foundation, and it's about taking control of your future one step at a time. So until next time, keep rising and building your path to financial independence.